Hello everyone, I am Lumen, and I will straight up tell you, I was feeling really good, so I decided to take a little break and record this right after the previous episode. But, well, so what? Let's just get into it as if I didn't. We'll just read a little bit of the previous chapter to get back into the feeling. And then, this book forever changes. You see, Sua, becoming a woman isn't enough. You need different friends too. Not that you had any friends, but well, what can you do? Let's go. I kind of half ran. I feel like I somehow have less stamina than before, and I was genuinely fat before, so I take a deep breath and get out the door. A man in a blue baseball cap and blue outfit with a button-up blue collar, relatively tall, no, scratch that, so tall, and kind of muscular and reliable looking, with short black hair and slightly tanned skin and sharp features, is standing there. He looks at me. I gulp. Delivery for Kim Hyun-soo? I ask. Basically feeling intimidated. I've noticed it. I've had to adjust all muscle memory for height things at home, shelves and all, plus people just look different from this height. He just nods, sternly, and somehow that feels reassuring, and he gets a big box. This is from some sort of office, he says, and passes me the box, and then tips his cap, and stops before getting back to his truck. Lucky guy having a girlfriend that picks up mail. It felt heavy too. You need help carrying it? I gulp. It does feel heavy in my arms. I feel like some proud part of me wants to say no, but yes, please. I don't get it. Women always this nice? And he has a smile the whole time as he sets it in front of my apartment and then politely says goodbye. I just blush as I wave and I take a deep breath. I might. I gulp. Like men? I stand in disbelief after I say that. Once I bring the stuff into the apartment, I grab a bottle of Coca-Cola and lie with it in my arms on the heated floor in the sitting room, having a mental breakdown over my potential preferences. Sua. The ancient art of finding men strong and reliable after transitioning. Truly, truly. What a horrible destiny you've been saddled with. What is this next chapter? What music do I want? Let's just go lo-fi violin. It's going to pick up really quick. Let me tell you. Some deep breaths, because I feel a little out of breath. Let's see. Hell nah, that shit's too slow and too sad. Upbeat. There you go. My scene's changed again. Whew. Hell nah. Give me the tragic music when it's time for a tragedy. This one doesn't have a tragedy unless the tragedy involves the loss of a male part replaced with female parts. Which wasn't much of a tragedy, just shock, really. I'll take it. Yeah. I hope the audio is not too low, but I didn't change shit, so it should be the same. Anyway, chapter 18. Girlhood. But I have Hannah, but he looks so reliable. I just not care, right? I drink a bit from a bottle, then I blush. I forgot the I stay crying a little. I forgot the bounce because I forgot about the bounce because I was too focused on not missing the package. No. Oh wait. Did he only help me because of the breasts? I wasn't even paying any attention. What a creep! No. I drink a bit more. Your noise. I sniffle. And yes, this keeps repeating for about 20 minutes as I'm on the floor, just letting myself heat up on the warm floor. And then I see the door open. Sua? I sniffle or curled up and look up like a wet cat. No. She picks a few times, and I end up crying into her lap about it. He was nice. Why was he nice? It felt nice to go up. It really is my stuff, I think. I sniffle multiple times as she strokes my hair gently. He called me a girlfriend. I'm my girlfriend because he was delivering to me under the whole day. She nods her slightly pursed lips. Good. That means he knew you were off the market. Sniffle again. Oh no. I mean, I am, but I sniffle. Oh no, I shouldn't like help like that, but I do. And she keeps comforting me until I'm all out of tears. Want me to make breakfast? I sniffle and pout. No, you'll burn my kitchen down. She frowns a bit. And after sniffling a bit more, finally get up and get something going. Just a nice fried bread and stuff inside. Sandwich. I like bread sometimes. It's nice. I keep stocked. Oh, I mean, I do have enough, but we'll need to go shopping. I look at Hannah. I still remember how hard it was to move the box. Will you help me carry the shopping? She nods a bit. I go up. I need help? Yes, because turns out you actually only weigh some 14 kilograms, lady. Oh well. Yes. Really? But I mean, why? I should be able to do things alone? But it felt so nice. I want help, but is that okay? I keep questioning it and plate up the finished food and sit next to Hannah because I need to be closer. I'm on the left, on the away side of the table from the counter, and she's to my right, past her, that pillar that table is against. Hannah? I gulp, taking a bit. Bite. So delish. I nod a bit. I added some kimchi in there. I'll have to make more soon. Is it okay to ask people for help? I wonder if she would have swallowed. Oh well, too bad. I mean, I definitely want Hannah to help me with the box, at least. She nods her times. But, she says and swallows. And smiles. You gotta avoid horrible people. Only ask nice people for help. Got it? I nod several times and eat a bit as I nibble, and I eat so much less now and take such small bites. I blush a bit. What if someone offers it like with a box? I sniffle. She looks at the sandwich in her hands and blushes and pouts a bit, and then takes a big bite. Well, I'll always help, but she nods. If it's helpful, why turn down? Right? She looks at me, half uncertain. I nod a bit, and she saddens. Hey, don't think anyone's ever offered me help like that, though. I blush, and suddenly my heart hurts a bit. Hey, okay, I'll make sure to get enough help for both of us. So, I sniffle and lean on her a bit because I need support. She leans her head against mine. Just help me when you want to. And she bounds even bigger. And she bounds even bigger. But you won't let me cook or clean or anything. I close my eyes and half open them. Hannah, I said help, not sabotage. And she half deflates. I try, okay? Mind you, she's asked me to teach her before. It was pointless. Nod a bit and take a deep breath. I know you do, but please help in ways that actually help. She pushes her lips. Fine. Don't. She blushes. Did I? Oh. Right, I forgot what happened. Yeah, joke's on me. There was this woman is still the same inside. She blushes. Did I? She gulps and takes a bite, and with a full mouth mumbles. Help in bed? I roll my eyes and basically stop and satisfy the exhaustion. Oh my god, did you? And she smiles all smug and satisfied. This breakfast is so nice. And well, after confronting Hannah about wearing my clothes and how I'll gladly let her if she asks, and pouting a bit that I can't wear hers. Yes. Pouting that she can't wear hers. I'm sorry, Hyun Soo. You're dead. Goodbye. Say hello to Sua. Well, yeah. Rip. Where was I? And well, after confronting Hannah about wearing my clothes and I'll gladly let her if she asks, and pouting a bit that I can't wear hers, we make our way to the nearby mall to stock up. I made a list and all. Hannah is wearing those other sweatpants of mine and a white, slightly mint-colored shirt with white stars. That should be just stars, but sure. I'm pretty sure anyway. On it with a yellow outline. Over that, one of my hoodies, the brown one. I decided to wear this outside too. And she has yellow socks. Yes, I managed to put on my bra. Everything is okay in the world again. Come to think of it, I checked the time and yes, it's definitely past when I'd work. I don't really see the world at this hour often, huh? Let's see. Some easy things like sausages. Nice. Oh, this basket is getting full and heavy. Look at Hannah with big sad eyes, and she takes and helps. I'm so glad. And for a moment I get a horrible thought. Am I manipulative? I think our mother was. No, right? Look at Hannah. I look at Hannah. Hannah? She blinks a few times. I nod and add another thing to the basket. Am I manipulative? And she smiles softly. Hell no! What about me? I blush a bit and pout a little. Yes. She stares. I go in bed. She half closes her eyes. I was an anxious mess and you were yelping at every single emotion. Someone had to take the lead. I just blush more but don't argue. It was nice in the end. Yes, from the last video, you know, I said it. I love just showing the scene, the aftermath, and then make little callbacks. Much better than being graphic. So much better. It was nice in the end. And we get bags at the store too, because we totally forgot something to bring things in. I think I caught more attention, but and we start walking home. Then what today? Tomorrow? We can't just go and do stuff every day, right? Like that. I mean, I need help somehow. I know I have tons of cash, but I feel super anxious anyway. How do I do anything? It's too much. I don't know, it's a bit. Wanna think it over at karaoke? Wanna think it over at karaoke? Enunciation. I look at her and nod a bit. Only if it's one of good food. She frowns and pulls out her phone. I'm the best at enunciation, by the way. I'm the best at reading. Yes, I am. And pulls out her phone. She took the purse I got her, a black one with her. I have a green one. I took it with me yesterday and all. Hold up. No, not you. Yeah, I'm gonna rewrite that because I'm pretty sure I noticed this miscontinuity in a different rereading and thought it was green, but then I wrote white later. So I'm just gonna say it always said white. Like I said, the best writer with the best reading, the best everything. Extremely good, in fact. I have a white one. I took it with me yesterday and all. It felt a bit awkward, but I have it on me right now too, over my left shoulder, below it, so my left hand can go in. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. And Hannah still has no earrings. Will the holes do stuff if you don't wear them? I don't remember her. How do you even judge food at a karaoke? I gulp and lean on her a bit as we walk. She has the brunt of the bags. And she keeps looking even as we get back, and I finish stocking. No, wait. That was Hannah. Only if it's one good food. How do you even judge food at a karaoke? Yes, that's the right feeling. I gulp, lean on her a bit as we walk. She has the brown of the bags, and she keeps looking even as we get back. And I finish talking. Okay, good. I think I got everything. Nice. Nice. And I spot the box in the hall. Help me bring it into my room? She nods a bit, and we do this too. I bet I could have done it alone otherwise, but let's see. All my stuff, most of which I want to throw out, plus what looks like a contract of sorts releasing me from work. Let's see. Oh, I get XP. Nice. Still, I nod a bit and decide to hide it all out of sight for now. I could just throw stuff out later. I notice the bags in the corner of clothes, and I nod. Wanna help me get rid of my old things? That was supposed to be a question mark. Wanna help me get rid of my old things? She looks up from her phone and at the bags and smiles. Gladly. Can we chuck it in? Can we chuck in the suit too? I nod, and in the end, we need to call a truck of some sorts to help us out, because it's way too much, and I definitely wanted to do it all in one trip. But I made sure to get rid of most of my office. But I made sure to get rid of my I'm just gonna take a sip and a few deep breaths if you don't mind. But I made sure to get rid of most of my office things too. Phew, good, I say. Okay, can we please not work for the rest of the day? No, wait, that's Hannah. Okay, can we please not work for the rest of the day? I'm beat. I nod a bit. Me too. I look around and nod and take a deep breath. That looks like a karaoke bar. We had accompanied the truck because, well, the driver was really, really old, like barely able to hear and squinting non-stop and hunched. Definitely the opposite of the reliable man. That being said, helping also felt nice. So, it's funny. It really was picked just because it was nearby. It really was. Because of who they find there. Man, doing 2 recordings in a row is tough. Now, how the hell do I do this? Lo-fi, I keep wanting lo-fi for this right now. Lo-fi fast disco party. Because, yeah, they get ambushed. I even make it 80s disco if I have to. That'll do. Whew. Chapter 19. Friends, it was an ambush. Me and Hannah just checked in and paid for a room, and as we were about to enter in this relatively small feeling karaoke place, Susu, I think we're all clear. From my head to the left hallway alongside Hannah. Good, Han, hella bussin'. Holy shit, voice acting, that is the hardest I might have done it. Yeah, wow. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound, or whatever. Good, Han, hella bussin'. And we throw our heads the opposite direction around the corner. The tone of voice, very similar. And almost simultaneously, these almost identical looking and dressed girls just stepped into view from either side. I blink a few times, looking at the one at my left. I'm not looking at the one to the right. To describe what I'm seeing, it's a relatively short-haired girl. I can't be much more taller than me, but I think she is just a tiny bit. Her eyes brown, her hair black, a bit stylish and tied into a ruffled ponytail, a short one. A single stripe of yellow dye on the right side of her front hair, styled behind an ear. She has a torn, baggy white shirt. Over it, a very small, maybe not meant to close, almost like leather black jacket, also torn in places, with bits of spikes in places, like it's meant to be stylish. And then extremely short shorts, jean shorts, still looking a bit ragged, not even making it halfway down the thigh, and the pocket's actually going past the shorts. And big puffy yellow shoes at the bottom. She has what are round, pointy silver or metal earrings, and what looks like pink nail polish. She just walked out, all smug and exaggerated, and then froze, looking at me mid-step. I looked the opposite direction, and Hannah looks where I looked, past me, and I see a very similar looking girl, except the stripe is pink, and the nail polish is yellow, and the shoes are pink. Yeah, they coordinated, yeah. And the wear and tear looks a bit different in places. Otherwise, they almost match. I want to say there's a difference in the face a lot, but honestly, barely. Are they related? This one is in mid-step, she's just sneaking past the corner playfully, the entrance not far behind her proper, and is frozen too. And moments later, my ears are assaulted. Yeah! They both make very light squeals. I hold my ears and wince a bit as the girl to my left runs over, and I think I hear Hannah be manhandled. Oh, OMG, you're so pretty, pretty. And that looks so mad cozy. And I hear the other one talk to Hannah as I look at this girl, whose eyes are fully glimmering. Like, are you friends? We love matching, but you kind of match, but there's a big diff, but it's still not cute. I'll be honest, when I wrote them, it was not with the intention of voice acting. Because I love reading my stuff, but goddamn. I'm so glad that I get to do this, but my god. My head is collapsing in on itself. That is an energy I do not live in my life. I just don't. I think Hannah is being shaken by the shoulders, and before I know it, we're all sitting in the room, the yellow-striped one speaking, closing the door. I'm Hound! She's Subin! The other girl nods. I'm Subin! And the previous one pulls out her phone. Like, can you take a pic? I want to put it on Insta, but you're both that cute together! And before I know it, I'm trying to smile into the camera with the two girls squeezing us in from both sides, smiling and making hand gestures. I think they keep speaking. They sure talk a lot. Subin is picking out songs right now, I think. And Hound just finished ordering food. Don't worry, we'll pay. We kind of half fished. We kind of half fished for a half lame spot because we kind of fame. God, I have to take that in one take because it ruins the energy of us. Don't worry, we'll pay. We got a half fish for a half lame spot because we got a fame. And she rhymed too. I'm an amazing writer. Holy shit. She's giggling as she says this, giggling. And then Subin adds something. Here, I love groupies, but no, it's chill time. And no. She nods several times, and then Hound nods several times too, and checks her phone. Oh, look, it's already met a trend! And she basically shoves the phone into my face, sitting to my right. Hannah is to my left, and honestly, she looks like she's having an out-of-body experience. She is. I blink a few times and try to read it while Subin is doing what sound like voice exercises. And Hound then joins in right next to me, still holding the phone. Step on me. I gulp. Am I reading it right? And it's an English comment. Mommy? I blink several times. Yeah. I think sometimes Hound basically throws her head at me and then smiles. Oh, you speak Ink? No way, that's mad cool. I blink several times and then she scrolls through a few posts. I feel overwhelmed. I've never been on Instagram. And she keeps trying to point to comments and want to know what each one says. So, being fully overwhelmed, I just try to translate as many as I can. A few times she just giggles, and a few times she says, that's so ridiculous! And a few times she looks half disgusted, but then instantly laughs as if that feeling never existed in the first place. Ingos are a bunch of weirds! And then somewhere along the line, along the line, I finally get my first reprieve as Subin does a mic check. Testing 1, 2, 3. No, testing 1, 3, 1, 3. And Hound throws her head that way. Yee, more Susu singing! Let me record real quick! And she takes the phone and starts recording. Singing happens. And she's also cheering. I go up. My eyes go towards the door. They just lock on and I nod a bit, taking so breaths. And I nudge into Hannah a little with my left shoulder. Hannah, now's our chance. And then, still staring ahead, I hear her mutter. I blink a few times and look at her. It's pretty loud right now. It's really Hound and Subin. I blink several times and stare. You know them? I whisper, but alarmed. She nods several times and, almost like she doesn't dare move, only looks over with her eyes and then ahead. No, I never thought I'd meet them. What do I... And she stares and looks at me with just of her eyes. You're pretty. Figure something out. I stare. Not only did I get called pretty, my eyes look at the door again because I could basically hear it get locked. Because I'm unwilling to separate Hannah from her idols. Maybe I've never heard of them. Goodbye, door. I look back over and look at Subin. I'll be honest. Her singing almost sounds like crowing. I think the voice is nice, just too hyper. And midway through, Helen gives me the phone to record. And runs up on stage and sings of her. And then, do I? Wait, why are all friendly? We literally just met. I hope I'm holding it right. I don't normally record things. And when they're done, Subin runs down and gets the phone and then helps me up. Wanna sing? Alright, go! I go up and basically feel myself pushed forward and just stare. The two are looking at me and smiling. I nod a bit and walk up to the stage next to this girl, slightly taller than me. I'll say it, women being taller than me and feeling big is definitely odd, but maybe nice. No, I'm so by the way. And Hound stares and then basically introduces girls according to that mouth movement. And Subin puts her hands over her mouth. I'm Subin! That means we're both Susu! And I go up and look at Hannah. And that's Hannah. And Hound. She's suddenly German, yeah. And Hound starts. Sus, you can't call me Hannah. We're Hannah here. And Subin pouts and crosses her arms. No fairs. Hi, Han. Wait. No fairs. Hi, Han. Switching on a dime, I swear. She turns around and smiles and waves at Hannah, who instead blushes. She starts quietly. That's a mistake. I've met exactly one person like this in my life. During uni, as a roommate. I hated his guts. He never cleaned anything. If you don't speak loud and confidently, you don't speak. Observe. I'ma sing the guy. You sing the girl, Sua. That is hilarious. Hound says, picking the song and passing me a mic. I gulp and tap it a little. It works. So I try. And it's just genuinely embarrassing because it's a love song. And Hound really leans into it, trying to make expressions and dancing on the dancing on the spot a little. And looks into my eyes while singing a few times. I'm trying my hardest to just follow the lyrics. And when we're done, that's Matt Preet. I want to post it. Can I post? Subin says with tears in her eyes. Small snot falling down. I want to try that again. That was Matt Preet. I want to post it. Can I post? Subin says with tears in her eyes. Small snot falling down. Hound nods her head in seriously large quick motions towards her and then grabs both my hands and stretches her arms downwards with them. Leaning towards me a bit. Can we? I gulp and nod a little. And Subin's eyes light up like someone getting a PlayStation for their birthday when little, and she instantly starts fiddling with her phone. But I thought that was Hound's. Big one, solo, we need a solo! And Hound de facto signs me into place, gives me a tablet, and then runs behind Hannah and hugs her from behind. All I get from Hannah's eyes is, please don't let this stop. I go up and nod a little and stare, trying to look through possible songs. I do know this one. One of the only games I've been playing recently. I completely forgot to log in for modules. Too bad. Holy shit. I'm not going to be playing the song even though I could. Basically, There are two things on my mind right now. One, I couldn't help but notice I've lost track of if Haun and Subin were consistently tracked. I cannot tell you who was where when. It's hard. I'm just going to trust my chapter self that wrote the chapter that I did get it right, because I ain't looking for it right now. Maybe after I finish the video, not now. The second thing is modules. The game is called Limbus Company, and I have to make a little note before I make new music for this. I love putting parts of myself into protagonists. For myself personally, video games have just lost that spark. I just don't want to play them. But I do play Limbus. And would you look at that? It's a Korean game, and they're actually speaking Korean, even though I'm writing in English. So it fits. Deal with it. Yeah. Oh well. I'm going to try slightly fast but mellow paced. Haha. Disco party. Let's see if that works, because I want that. I might even add jazz, a saxophone. But for now, let's see if this works. I am heavily shaken by Haun and Subin's energy. Like, I think I have whiplash from reading the chapter. It's a short one too. These are all short. These three. I'll take it. Chapter 20. Touched. I'm feeling touched. Water. Let me drink some more water before I commit to this again. Chapter 20. Touched. On one hand, I feel a little bit bad about picking a slower song. On the other hand, this is exactly what I need. Plus, I know it. Limbus Company's Pass On. Look it up. I try to sing it as best as I can, putting feeling into it. I hope it sounds good. I like this voice. I think it sounds nice. But it's kind of hard to say. It just feels a bit off. You know? It's alright. And just like that, I just finished the song. I take so deep breaths. That is exactly what I needed. Line out of it. And look up, and then stare a bit as I see the room entirely quiet. The phone still pointed my direction. I have to say it, I love putting real locations and real products into my works. Not if it's a fictional world. I hate that. I'll make my own up. But if it exists and it's on Earth, I'm not gonna make up fucking off-brands. Am I stupid? No! It's something that exists in the world. Oh no, but copyright. Fun. I'm putting this shit on YouTube because I enjoy it, not because I'm trying to make money off of copyrighted content. Fucking stupid. If it exists on Earth, I'm putting it in because it makes sense. But I understand not wanting to bog the story down with certain names and brands. They carry a certain energy, even just being mentioned. Anyway, this is the last chapter, so I can take extra time because I know it's also short. That's nice. The phone still points my direction, and Subin starts crying again. And I'm crying and nodding along, still hugging Hannah, maybe squeezing herself into her back, and her from the front, rocking back and forth. Huh. And her from the front, rocking back and forth. Yeah. Because he's being hugged and rocked, yeah. My head, man. Has nothing to say. Hannah just looks at me, somehow shocked too. I have no idea what she's trying to convey. I nod a bit. I don't normally sing. And that is where I sign my death warrant, because instantly I find myself flying by both girls, both speaking really fast at once over one another. Hannah still in that position, seemingly checking whether she was held and her back. Squeezing. I need to reread that. Squeezing into herself and her from the front, rocking back and forth. So Helen was behind Hannah. Sheesh, sometimes. Anyway. Hannah stayed in that position, seemingly checking where she was held and her back. From my left ear, Subin, still in tears, is telling me what a mad waste of talent me not singing is, and I think Haon is saying something like, we gotta collab into my right, but honestly, it's all going over my head. And then I am saved, because the moment the door opens, two things happen. Food! Both yell and run towards the seats, and food is delivered. It's chicken. Delicious. With other potato-based goods with all sorts of condiments. I am once again sitting down, this time Subin to my right, Hound leaning on Hannah heavily and looking at me. Like, not only are you mad pretty, she says, and Subin nods and takes another bite. You're talented, and you're nice. I gulp and try to eat to avoid talking. This is too much. Where did you find this? I'm so mad jelly. Hound is basically shaking Hannah with a full mouth, who blushes. Where? She gulps and reaches for some fries. Lovers. And Hound shakes her a bit more and then suddenly stops in motion and blinks a few times. And Subin does the same with chewing, chews a few more times and swallows and stops and blinks a few times. And then at the same time, they both basically jump back, eyes staring wide, and Subin immediately starts working on her phone, and Hound tries to bring hers out, but then realizes, so she runs around the table, wipes her hand on the napkin, and fishes in Subin's pocket and pulls out her phone? Is phone swapping? Her. Yeah, is phone swapping her normal? Meanwhile, Hannah, blushing, hides behind me a bit. I kind of want to add an E here, but that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Hannah, blushing, hides behind me a bit. I don't know what to do. Help. I can feel her on my back. It feels nice, but also I'm not someone who can protect you, Hannah. I want to be the one protected. Ah, no, wait, Hound says, a bit serious, and I think deletes something, and then puts the phone into Subin's hand and takes her own phone back. I think it's hers anyway, and deletes more. And she nods, man. Yeah, I forget her. We's kind of fame, but you's not. It ain't fair. I blink a few times. Subin nods several times and blushes. Yeah, I'm a mad source. Girl, I was so base, but like so private. I think that's meant to be private. I see. Hound nods, crossed arms like some sort of enlightened sage. Hound nods, crossed arms like some sort of enlightened sage. I have no clue what's going on anymore, but I kind of like having Hannah rely on me. I gulp. Right, well, they're busy with their phones and eating. Time to say what Hannah wanted to. So, Hannah, I say. They both look at me. It's Hound still typing something. They took pics of the food too. Said she knows and likes you both. They both stare a bit and look at Hannah, who hides a bit more behind me and nods a little. And the girls smile and high five. Hey, a fan, lucky! Hound says, and Subin nods several times and then gets up and sits near Hannah and leans on her a bit. Mad source for interrupting your date, though. That was like soup's rude of us. God, it needs to be one take. I need to breathe. Mad source for interrupting your date, though. That was like soup's rude of us. Oh, not several times. And then leans on me. But like, we gotta exchange contacts. You're like, soup's cool, Sua. Sua. It sounds so silly said out loud. But that is what it's meant to be. Man, reading your own work out loud is one hell of an experience. I've read it quietly before. No speaking out loud, but trying to voice act it and reading out loud. I'm glad I'm doing this. Thank you for watching, by the way, but goddamn. I I gulp, and I'm afraid that's exactly what happens. Looky, your song is my Francois. Hound shows me the numbers. I just stare, and he comments like, is this an angel? And I can die in peace, and I am no longer depressed, and so on. I explode completely red in the face, and I'll be honest, I kind of zoned out the next thing. But Hannah is now singing, Hound is recording, I'm against the seat, looking and listening, and Subin is sprawled over the seats like a cat, almost, hands under chin, over my lap. I blink several times. I have no idea how this happened, I still feel red. I can't handle compliments like that. That wasn't a response to me, right? Right? My throat. I don't think I sing good. Hannah puts the mic down, and then Subin gets up, makes room. Hannah sits down to lean on me, and then Subin leans on Hannah. Yeah. Chill. Karaoke's chill time. Maybe your day could make the Olympics. I blink a few times. Isn't that a sports competition? It is. These girls are national treasures, but my God. They are. I love them so much. Some of the best characters I've ever written. But my God. Keeping up with them is impossible. And I'll not several times, and I'm afraid as we start finishing the food and the two play with their phones, and Hannah looks really happy somehow, we end up exchanging contacts. Well, I recommend you bail, like real bail. Subin gets up and walks to the door. Hound nods and gives me a huge hug. By now some Cray fans props knows. Some Cray wow. By now some Cray fan props knows where this is. Later girls, be online. And she hugs Hannah too, and then the two leave. I exchange a glance with Hannah, and about a minute later, of silence, we both quickly started leaving. I can't handle the idea of being swarmed by strangers. I just can't. I really can't. Gulps. Standing near me, we're kind of a little ways away now towards our home. I can't believe it. She brings up her phone, both hands holding it, shaking a bit. She has a shaky smile on her face. I have Hound and Subin's numbers. She gulps and looks at me. My head shakes a bit as I try to go upright, but I still feel winded. The chest didn't make it easier. Hannah first opens her mouth, but then blushes and looks embarrassed. Is it okay? She gulps. To use you as an excuse to she sniffles, looking us up. Meet them again. And I look at her, all hurt eyes bleeding. Hannah. My shoulders slump because I can't tell her no. I'll die. I can't. She gulps and looks a bit sad. Just a bit sadly. Fine. And she instantly starts typing into her phone. I try to take a deep breath. And not long after, yeah, they agreed to come over for dinner. Do I cook? I immediately put my hands on her shoulders. No. And she purses her lips. I nod a bit. Cook for two. Hyperactive. Grow somethings. Okay, sure, I can do it. Right? Please? I hope I can. Good thing we restocked. Yeah, this was the right move. I am so glad and proud of myself for deciding to record immediately after the previous video. I am. I just had to get this energy out. The entire time, it felt like I was getting whiplash, basically. Maybe not the first bit with the shopping, but goddamn. These two gremlins are just unstoppable. And I love them, but goddamn. I'll just take a few deep breaths if you don't mind. Before finishing the recording, I feel like I really need to collect myself. Feel free to look through it later. After maybe watching this, turn the music off, the sound off, read it yourself at a slower pace. Because let me tell you, it's meant to be read, not listened to. And I can really tell in this one. But I have so much fun reading it. Holy crap, man. But yeah, this is the start of Sua's social media fame. And it's freaking hilarious. But yeah, thank you for watching. Genuinely. I enjoyed making this. Probably the most out of them all so far, but to be fair, I always really look forward to recording, even if sometimes I feel like I need a bigger break, but God, I love it. It's so much fun. Have a good day. I enjoyed this. I don't accept critique, I don't take feedback, and I still hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day, hopefully a good evening, and definitely a good night. Bye!